Hey guys, welcome to today's FindTheBestCarPrice.com video. This is the 2022 Volvo S60. This is the B5 Momentum. It is a front-wheel drive model. The exterior color is called Thunder Gray. The interior is charcoal, and the price, $43,690. Volvo gets rid of the T5 and T6 engines, and that makes room for the B5 mild hybrid powertrain, but you will find that the T8 plug-in hybrid system carries over from 2021 to 2022. There are new paint and wheel options offered, and the Momentum trim level loses the standard front fog lights, and trims above no longer have a compass built into the rear view mirror. The R-Design inscription and Polestar trims get a standard wireless device charger, and equipment offerings are reshuffled with features such as enhanced air filtration, a heated steering wheel, rear door child locks, and headlight washer nozzles being relegated to different option packages. So let's start with a quick exterior tour. You do have the LED headlights, the daytime running lights. You're also going to have those fog lights down there on the bottom. 18-inch wheels that look pretty sporty, I would say. This is considered a compact luxury sedan, by the way. And with this Thunder Gray exterior color, I must say, I really like the fact that you have the black upper and lower grills here. That really sets off the overall color and design of the vehicle, and just the overall design as you look right here. So what you're going to have is the housing for the fog lights, and that's going to work all the way around, a continuous kind of line almost, if you will, all the way around the lower portion of the front bumper. It just looks right that way. And a very common question that I get if I don't answer it in the video or talk about it, and it's kind of hard to see today because it's a bit bright out here, but I think you can see it. Does the side view mirrors, or do these side view mirrors, have turn signal indicators built in? And of course the answer to that question is going to be a resounding yes. Here is what the remote looks like for 2022. There are no changes there, but just so you can see, I will hit the button right there, and you can see those are power folding side view mirrors. And under the hood, let's take a look at what you have right here. You do have the hydraulic struts to lift the hood right there, a power assist really. And here is the 2-liter turbocharged direct injection 4-cylinder. It makes 247 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. And I said earlier, this is a front-wheel drive model. The engine is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. And here are the MPGs: 26 miles per gallon city, 35 out on the highway, a combined total of 30 miles per gallon. And according to Volvo, per every 100 miles you drive this S60, you should burn 3.3 gallons of gas. And taking a look from the rear, of course, you're going to have that Volvo logo. Like I said, this is the B5. And you do have the exhaust finishers down there. They are not actually connected. I don't know how well you can see that from this angle, but the exhaust does make its way to the finisher, but doesn't actually connect to the finisher. And as far as cargo space goes, you're going to have 11.6 cubic feet of cargo space. And just so you can see right here, I'm going to lift this up so you can see, you do have a spare tire, no tire repair kit to deal with. And before we hop into the back seat, I will show you that there is a pass-through here if you want to take advantage of that. The door to lower that and open that area up is located in the interior of the trunk, just so you know, right there as you can see. So you'll have to release that from the inside of the trunk area. Of course, there are the drink holders and the fold-down armrest. And just taking a quick look here at the door panel here, you can see the soft touch materials that you have right here, a little bit of contrast stitching. And well, you could probably stick a few bags of Skittles, maybe some M&Ms or some Starburst there in the door bin. Not a lot of space there. And then on the back of the seats, you do have the, I wouldn't call them map pockets, those are more of map nets, as that is a net-like material. And let me just hop inside here, try not to make the shot too shaky. And then a little bit of space right here. And then of course you're going to have connectivity down here on the lower portion of the rear of the console with a couple of USB ports. And let's see here, I don't know how well I can do this. Hopefully I can give you a decent little shot there. There is the panoramic sunroof that does open, by the way. The front portion will slide back. And looking into the front seat with the charcoal interior, you're gonna have more of those soft touch materials right here. You do have a little bit of a larger door bin right here, so you can actually fit some large boxes of Skittles and or Starbursts in there if you wanted to, and even your favorite drink right here if you would like. Just giving a quick look here. Good materials right here, gives it a nice elegant look. Just look around. This interior is comfortable, by the way. Good materials on those seats. And just a quick look here into the glove box, just to show you what's there. That is a fairly deep glove box. Probably kind of hard to tell on video. You'll just have to take my word for it, but it is somewhat deep. And we'll take a look a little closer at everything, but just so you can see what the interior materials look like from the passenger side door. And giving equal time to the driver's side door, one thing you will notice that's different here from the passenger side is that you do have two settings for seat memory right there. And taking a look here, you do have a fully adjustable steering wheel, tilt and telescopically. To start the vehicle, all you have to do is reach right down here, and there you go. You're just going to turn that knob right there. And just to show you what the instrument cluster looks like, a lot of good information found here, easy to use, easy to read, and very effective. Going to have these steering wheel mounted controls here. And right here, of course, one of the most underused options on a vehicle. If your vehicle has this lever on the right hand, or excuse me, the left hand side of the steering wheel, that's called the blinker lever. And you can push that up and see that arrow blinking to the right, and then when you push it into the down position, it starts blinking to the left. That's how you turn your blinkers on and let people around you know what you're doing, just in case you always wondered. And if you had never been able to afford that option, maybe your next vehicle will have it and you can use it. Of course, there's more functionality there than just things I can be sarcastic about. You should be laughing at this point in the video if you've made it this far. You control the functionality of the headlights and turning those fog lights on and off, which is done right there. And then, of course, on this side, I can't say sarcastic things about the windshield wiper lever and control right there, but there it is nonetheless. And just a quick look here at the overall steering wheel. A nice looking steering wheel, of course, having that Volvo logo right there. And here is the infotainment screen. A lot of people say this is difficult to use. I've driven enough of these Volvo models where I'm pretty used to it, and honestly, I don't think it's that hard. And here are your safety features. I'm not going to go through all those one by one, but one thing about it is you've got all the safety features up there. You've got a few more down here just to see what those are. But let me go back up here. One of the things about this car, of course, it's going to have a backup camera. I'm going to go into reverse. Let's see if we can get that. There we go. And you have a few different options. You can zoom in, different things like that. Now I'm going to put the car back in park. We're going to get out of this screen. The good thing about it is you don't have to be in reverse to use your camera. So let's see, let's push that one more time. There we go. You can see it does come back up. And if you want to get back to the main screen, here is how you do it. Now, one thing you might have noticed down here is you don't have the selector for the driving modes anymore. Something else that's changed for 2022, but that's because it's right here. And so you're just going to select the same way basically as you would before, and then you can get out of that screen, or it's going to go out by itself. You basically see what happens. You have dual zone climate control here, and of course, like I said, and have wireless charging. You have a 12-volt power outlet right there that you could use an adapter and turn that into a USB if you'd like to. Here is the shifter, of course, very easy to use, easy to figure out. And if you happen to, let's just put this car into drive real quick. If you happen to shut the engine off without remembering to push park right there, it's automatically going to go into park anyway. I'm going to start back up real quick. And if you want to hide everything away right there, you can do that. Just if you want to conceal a little bit more of that wood grain material right there that we saw on the passenger side on the dashboard. And as far as storage space goes in the console, kind of give you an idea of what's there. And you have two USB ports. If you're wondering, where are my USB ports? Are there any? Well, there you go. There's the answer. You have 4 total in this vehicle, the 2 in the rear and the 2 here in the front seat. And here is the control for the power sunroof, or the panoramic sunroof, I should say, and I do have the shade drawn, so you do have a shade there if you wish to take advantage of that. And let's see here, what do we have in the way of a vanity mirror? There we are, and hey, there we are. How's it going? Get to see us in real time there, and let's pull this back just so we can show you how that works. Now, it does only go to this point. You can't actually move that back, so you are a little bit limited on that, but honestly, I think that is a big enough shade to where it shouldn't be a problem, even though you can't move the shade back and forth. Okay, as we get out on the test drive, I'm always trying to get a better angle for the test drive, and in this particular vehicle it wasn't hard to do because of the sunroof. So tell me if you like this angle. I know I can't please everybody, but just tell me what you think. If you like this, a little bit better view of the dashboard, and you can still see out of the windshield as well. So one thing about driving this car, as we're driving down the road, I almost forgot to mention something that is within the infotainment screen, and that is the fact that if you want to, there's actually an option here to actually push one of these options on the screen, and you can put the rear headrests down if they happen to be in your way or whatever the case is. If there's no one sitting in the back seat, obviously that is a nice option. And there are some options that come with this model that I will list on the screen that I didn't cover earlier, just so we don't make the video any longer than it has to be. It's just easier to kind of just inlay it into the video. But some of the options and features that you can expect with at least this particular model, this particular trim level, if it's something you so desire. Now, I am driving in dynamic mode, so we're driving with the best performance possible. And while 247 horsepower may not seem like a lot of horsepower, it does a great job of getting this car down the road with absolutely no problems whatsoever. But as is always the case, if you're looking to save gas, this is definitely something you should consider with that lower amount of horsepower. And the mild hybrid powertrain, of course, is going to contribute to that. And you might wonder, well, what exactly is a mild hybrid powertrain? Tom, tell us about that. What that means is when you're coming to a stop, or you come to a stop, then the hybrid end of the powertrain will take over. So it will basically shut the gas engine off, and, well, supposed to save some gas for you. You would think it's an auto stop start feature, but not really. It's something a little bit different. But ultimately what that means is that you don't drive the same way you would in EV mode in other mild hybrid, or hybrid vehicles, I should say. That's why it's called a mild hybrid powertrain. Now, as we get out onto the road here, let's make sure we can do this safely, because some of the drivers around here are not the best. Little acceleration test. Drop the loud pedal to the floor, and, well, it doesn't sound like I'm going all that terribly fast, but I need to slow down because I got up to a little bit higher above the speed limit than I had planned to. So it's a little bit deceptive as to how well this car gets down the road. This S60 accelerates just fine. And yes, it is just me in the car right now. If I had some other people in the car, maybe some cargo in the trunk area, how much of a difference would that make? Well, I can't really say for sure, just because of the fact that don't have those things right here. But I have to say, one thing I really like here, everything's comfortable. The steering wheel leather wrapped, as you might be able to see on the screen. I'm not sure that it's going to show that very well through your point of view from the camera, but it is a comfortable leather wrapped steering wheel. You've got the heated front seats. The seats are comfortable. There is a little bit of bolstering on one side, maybe a little bit on the other as well. Just kind of feeling around. You have more on the inside of the seat than you do on the outside, but of course this is by no means a high performance vehicle, but it is there nonetheless to keep the driver and passenger comfortable when driving down the road and, well, essentially in place. And I'm driving a little under the speed limit now, and I'm going to get on the gas here. No problems getting down the road whatsoever, and I didn't even maybe got to quarter throttle. I don't know. What about the overall ride quality itself? Well, it's good. It's not necessarily cushy, but it's not going to beat you to death either. Kind of a middle of the road experience. Now, it also depends. You got to take, when I say things like that, you got to kind of take that with the grain of salt of this information, that kind of new terminology there. I'm probably going to hear all about that in the comments, but take it for what it's worth. It's probably a better way to put it. Depending on what the person reviewing the vehicle, such as myself today, is used to driving, well, they might tell you that a vehicle rides better or worse than it would if you drove it. So when it comes to the test drive, that's one of the knocks on these car review videos on YouTube. It's really hard to know for sure. I mean, there's things I can tell you and talk about, tell you my experiences and stuff like that, but you really have to experience it for yourself. So I'm going to tell you that this car rides very well. It's not the smoothest riding sedan that I've been in, a smaller luxury sedan, but it's definitely not uncomfortable either. That's a fact. And just while we're on that subject, if you drive a vehicle and you're saying, how can I improve the ride quality? One thing you want to consider is the size of the sidewall of the tire. A lower profile tire is always going to equal a harsh ride, or maybe a harsher ride, we should say, because you don't have that bigger sidewall to absorb as much. So just something to think about. But
to learn more about the model in today's video, visit the link in the description for a detailed comparison between trims and pricing for the vehicle we featured or any other vehicle you are interested in. These pages feature information such as our recommended trim level based on price, value, and features. Thank you for taking the time to watch today's video. We look forward to seeing you next time.